So this is Logic Audio.
Okay.
And so the whole thing that's neat about music production, you're getting all this, I suppose?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The thing that's neat about music production nowadays is the tools to produce have been democratized. So I have a Macintosh here and an interface and some speakers, and I'm pulling up sounds from a database. In this case, it's a plugin called Omnisphere. So we're going to just quickly make up a track here. Just write a track on the fly while you're here. And you've got your click there. And what's kind of cool about that is you can slow things down to as slow as you want and then make it go faster later. So if you're bad, you can kind of fake it. So I saw that I had an 8-bar phrase there that was reasonable. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to, first thing, rule for digital music for all time is always save what you're doing because stuff will crash on you.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So we'll call this jig. I love that. And now, let's just copy that over real quick. And, now we got, it repeats right at the 9th bar there. And then we can go create another track real quick. And we're just instancing here on the track another instrument. So let's go get something cool there. And, so you can see it's just pretty easy to get things moving very quickly. So we can pick here by type. Let's get, let's find the bass. Let's find a different instrument for bass here. I'm a fan of fretless basses for some reason. So each one of these instruments is a different type of plugin. So you see there are literally thousands and thousands of instruments. And this is just something that you didn't see years ago.
Oh, yeah.
And so I'm going to all different kinds of basses here, and I can go right to, let's try an acoustic bass for the heck of it. Let's see what an upright jazz bass sounds like with that interesting tone. The other thing that's cool is you can do what's called quantize here, so you can come up and pick the way this will autocorrect the rhythm, which is a way to lock things in. And a lot of music, you'll notice, has been influenced by that ability. So let's see if we get... That's bad. You can't be afraid to throw things away.
So when it autocorrects a rhythm, it'll say you've got like a certain time signature. Well, it'll take the notes that you played and it'll snap them in place,
Right.
depending on the time signature.
Yeah. So it's giving me quantized to 16th notes or 32nd notes or quarter note triplets. So it allows you to just get things to groove a little bit more smoothly. Probably I made a mistake in there. Take a look at the notes that I'm hitting. There wasn't anything too egregious in there, so you can actually then copy that part over. Then you can build parts up one at a time. Let's just add a drum piece to it real quick.
Can you lengthen and shorten the notes after they're recorded?
Yep, I can go in here and just change the length of the note real quick. I can also look at it in other formats. So I can look at score format, which is pretty amazing. Right?
Oh, wow.
This is an interesting one. You can look at things in hyper-edit. So this allows you to, and this particular software, Logic Audio, is pretty cool. I've been using this for years, and then Apple bought it. It was a German company, and Apple bought them years ago. And you can change the velocities just by drawing them. That's pretty amazing what you can do. So that's been one of the changes, is musical performance itself has become the art of engineering the song into place, not just the sound levels, but the way things work in terms of musicality. So one of the things I could do here is play a completed track that I did for you to give you a sense. So this is something called The Hawk, which is a combination of world music and sound effects. So, see what you think of this. So you get the opportunity to mix world and instruments together and synths and all kinds of interesting things to make it sort of film score.
Yeah. You can kind of create whatever kind of atmosphere you want with those kind of sound effects.
I got reverse guitars and stuff in there. And those guitar sounds I made with this box here, which I'll show you. This is pretty cool. Pull up. This is called the Fractal Audio Systems Processor. Have you ever heard of this thing?
No, I haven't.
This thing's really cool. Get the guitar and show you how this works. What's cool about this thing is this gives you, it models the sound. Jazz. But then you flip the knob real quick and you got and back when I was your age it was good too. Don't do that too much anymore, I get in trouble. I've created some interesting sounds in here. If you listen, they're kind of evolving. So you can create textures that almost sound like pads. So I spent a lot of time designing sounds here. It doesn't sound like I'm doing a lot, but it takes a lot of time to design just the sound.
You configure those on your own using that machine?
Yeah. It sounds nice to me.
Yeah.
Some are not as nice. Let's see if we can find something really cool here. Kind of like that. It used to be I have to have a big amp mic'd up really loud to make it sound like that. Now everything is sort of like digitally created and that plugs straight into the Mac so you can combine lots of different sounds together. kind of cool. Want
So
to try it?
Sure. When you record that, you don't need a microphone. Just wires straight to.
Digital output of this. Yeah.
That's really cool.
This sounds like it could be a pretty good. Sounds pretty legitimately loud.
Yeah.
I'll take you through a bunch of different sounds while you play. Now you're clean. There's one, you just play one note. Whoa. Just play one note on this one, it's pretty neat.
It just sustains.
Yeah. Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
So the idea with this kind of stuff is that the means of production have totally gotten cheaper, right? I mean, it used to be I had to have a recording studio, and I had to have hundreds of amps and microphones set up and all that stuff, and now I have a couple digital items, and I can do it myself. So, as a matter of fact, here's something interesting. I wonder if you take a peek at this screen. I'll type in Studer 32 track. So this is what our studio used to look like, right? You used to have to get one of these kinds of big studios, big mixing board, 32 track. That mixing desk and that recording deck right there, and it's probably $1 million worth of equipment.
And that's all digital. Digitalized.
No, that's analog, right?
Yeah, but what you have in the Logic program?
Right. Now Logic does that for a few $100, right? So the production, the means of production has been democratized, but also the means of distribution have been democratized, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like the book The Long Tail.
Yeah.
It used to be that you had to get the hit in a major record label. Now you can produce the music yourself in a basement, and you can distribute it yourself. So that applies not just to music, but any creative form. So, despite what your parents may say, you go into the creative arts, be it digital art or digital music or video game production, is actually a good choice now, because you could be your own boss and control your own destiny.